that kind of dirty martini with blue cheese stuffed olives. Baby ass gym. Baby. Pitiful gym. Pitiful because there's a leak because it's an old ass hotel. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel where I give tips and tricks to the young professional who likes to live life and travel luxuriously at their leisure. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button. And if you are already subscribed but have not hit the notification bell, please hit the notification bell so that you can know when I drop my next video. So I recently visited the St. Regis in Houston, Texas. That's right. I went to the St. Regis because I was going to be in town for a get-together. It was a gathering. It was a 10th anniversary. It was all the thing. And the most exciting part of it all was that I was going to be having a nice little sister weekend with my big sis, and we had not had a girls trip in years. She lives in Maryland, I live in California, and we were gonna meet somewhere in the middle, and that was Houston, Texas, baby. And guess what? The St. Regis is where she booked. And just like a little sis, I was so happy that she booked this because I had never stayed at the St. Regis before, and they are known for being one of the most customer-oriented luxury hotels out there. The name of the game is luxury at the St. Regis Hotel, and not just the luxury surrounding or luxury accommodation, but the whole luxury experience. Let's get into it. I even have my laptop here because I'm going through this stuff, okay? My sister had already arrived. She got there that morning, and instead of having her come pick me up from the airport, I said, you know what? I'm gonna take an Uber there. Let me just arrive. You stay in your robe and listen to music and just luxuriate, and it's all gonna be good, right? I get there in my Uber, and I get dropped off, and as soon as I walk into the front, I see this beautiful entryway. To my right is this jewelry store that looks closed, but it's actually open. It's by appointment only. And so I didn't actually know that until I started talking to some of the staff a little bit more, and they told me like, no, it's actually open. It's just by appointment only. And if you're staying there, you can get an appointment. If you're not staying there, you can get an appointment, but it's by appointment only. So I thought that was super cool, super cute, and super exclusive. To my left was the check-in desk. I was tired. I was exasperated. My hair was all over the place. All I wanted to do was put my stuff down and just relax. So when I got there, I was already like, oh, I just hope somebody can just help me just get upstairs, get my bags, just help me relax. And so, of course, one of the staff people was right there, almost like he knew that I was in such agony and so tired. He just said, here, give me your bag. Give me your bag. I'll take it up. What room are you in? Where's your sister? I said, this is my sister. He's like, they're like, oh, she hasn't put your name on the thing. I said, just let her know. Call her. I don't know. And they're like, don't worry, ma'am. Don't worry, ma'am. Have a seat. We'll get everything taken care of. I had a seat and I got literally right back up because they had called my sister, and my bags and everything just kind of was gone and already upstairs before I was. And I got accompanied there by one of the staff. And as soon as I got there, they said, here's your robe. Here's your slippers. Would you like help putting your slippers on? It was like, oh my goodness. And they said, you know what? You look so tired. You need to relax. I'm gonna send something up for you. And they sent up a beautiful bottle of champagne with chocolate covered strawberries and 2 champagne flutes. And it was just such a warm welcome, so divine. And I just really, really love their hospitality. So of course I had to film a little bit of content with the chocolate covered strawberries because let me tell you, it was just one of those things where you just had to film some content. I wasn't even trying to eat the strawberries, but I definitely did want to have some of that champagne, okay? It wasn't champagne, it was sparkling wine, but that's okay. A for effort. Then we got dressed. We filmed a couple of TikToks. We had this whole plan to like go film in the lobby and do all of that, which I'm sure they would have welcomed because they were just so nice the whole time. So by the time we did get out to the lobby and we got our car from valet, I was told by the same person who had helped me kind of get settled when I got there that he had another surprise for me and that he wanted to show me something in the back, in the pool area. And this was a cabana which they rent anywhere from $350 to like upwards of $800. They gave us that complimentary because I had looked so exasperated and I had such a long trip. And also we were celebrating being together as sisters on our girls trip in the first girls trip for many, many years. And I was just so excited to just have that. I don't know, it felt so good and it felt so right and it just felt so hospitable and it felt very caring as well. That morning I was woken up by what sounded like water rustling through pipes. At first we didn't really know what the situation was. I didn't know if it was construction going on at the corner. I didn't know what it was, but it was a complaint. I called the director of I think it's like the director of managing operations, and you know, the interaction was such that there wasn't really anything that he can do about it. And there was a bit of a miscommunication because I did think that he would go and figure out what the problem was and then come back. It was very early in the morning. He never came back that morning. And so I was a little bit salty because I was like, oh, like I thought that you were gonna go investigate the problem. I didn't think it was a problem that he could actually figure out the answer for, but said he would go investigate it. And I thought he said he was gonna come back. And actually he did say he was gonna come back, but he didn't. And so I called down after an hour and I said, oh, like I thought he was gonna come back, and you know, he didn't. It didn't set well with me. Oh, I talked to him and I said, oh, I think this was a communication. He's like, I'm like, you said you were gonna go figure out the problem and come back, right? And he said, no, I never said I was gonna come back. I said, oh, okay. I realized later, because he came to talk to us while we were at the pool, that he reconsidered and actually did not want to disturb us further because he had not figured out what the problem was. And he wanted us to try to get as much sleep as possible. But for our inconvenience, he actually gave us a night off. Basically, he gave us a night for free. We were only there for 2 nights. He gave us a night for free because our sleep was ruined. I know what I said. I know what he said. He said he was gonna come back. He didn't. His way of apologizing for that was to give us a free night. And he was so nice. And he even said, look, drinks on me. He was so nice about it, and he apologized for the miscommunication and making the judgment not to come back because he was trying to be considerate and didn't know that I would view it as him not closing the loop on the conversation, because that's what I felt. Because when you're staying at any 5-star luxury hotel, you really want any issues that you have to be considered. You want to be heard out, and you want the problem to be solved. Sometimes it can't be. It's a very old hotel. It has not been remodeled since its inception, and I need to find out when it was built. So there are some things that can't be fixed, but what can fix it is when a customer expresses their dissatisfaction. And look, we had just built the standard room. We weren't staying in any of the suites, but at the same time, we're still customers. And this is supposed to be an experience. I think that it was rectified. Now, the pool area. I bet you that pool area is popping in the summer. They have 3 large cabanas. Each of them have televisions. And then on the lower deck, they have a bunch of different chairs overlooking the pool. And there's a fountain there. It's very like luxurious sort of layout. It very much reminded me of Las Vegas. In fact, there was no one else with the cabana that day. I had asked that we get the center cabana because it just reminded me of like being at one of those pool parties in Vegas. It was nice. There were like a couple of families there, maybe like 2 families, but mostly there were adults, and people were just lounging by the pool. It was very good weather. It was in the 70s. It wasn't crazy hot like it usually is in Houston. The other thing too was that they were serving alcohol. They were serving drinks, they were serving food, and we got more free drinks, more free stuff. And it was just so nice to feel so taken care of after having expressed some dissatisfaction. And that's not something I typically do just for the sake of doing to see what I can get free. That's not how I vacation. But I was pleased to know that not only had they given us the cabana for free, they had also given us free drinks as well, and was very, very attentive throughout our whole time over by the pool area. My sister and I enjoyed it very much. I then started taking like a little bit of a tour. So they have a little baby ass gym. Baby, pitiful gym, pitiful, that's overlooking the pool area. Now, I'm not a gym person when I'm, you know, luxuriating and vacating, but for people who are, it's a baby gym. Now, inside of the gym, which I think is quite interesting, are the men's and the women's spa area. Now, the women's spa area is closed down because there's a leak, because it's an old ass hotel. But the men's spa area was open, and so I got to take a little tour. And so that was interesting as well. It looked old. I mean, I think that's the thread of this video, old. Old. But you know, what can I say? It was old. Let me go through my stuff, honey. Oh, okay. So I went on the tour. So there was a baby shower happening that weekend. So the whole lower level is this beautiful breakfast restaurant. Now, I just got a little peek because they had booked the whole thing. So I couldn't really get up in there, you know. But from what I could like kind of ascertain, it was a nice sprawling space, you know, enough space to hold a baby shower. And that was just their breakfast. So instead of being able to have breakfast down at the breakfast restaurant, I had breakfast in the dinner restaurant where the main bar area is. And this is the restaurant that you can come into. You don't have to have a reservation. And it was very old school. It kind of reminded me of Cheers. It very much gave those vibes. The food was good. I had like this club sandwich and fries. You know, I was on my little vacation diet. It was actually quite delicious. I had to get some work done. And so I was kind of on my laptop doing some remote stuff from work while I was eating. It was very chill, and that was Sunday. So people were coming in for Sunday brunch. Very nice, smart, casual dressed folks, and I love that vibe. I love that atmosphere. I had the best dirty martini I have ever had. Like, it was so good. It was a Grey Goose dirty martini with little ice particles still floating in it. That kind of dirty martini with blue cheese stuffed olives. It was amazing. We had espresso martinis. We had lemon drops. Everything was good. I love a martini. I love the vodka-based drink. Everything was really, really good. It had a very mature feel to it. I was at the bar Friday before we went out, I think, Saturday and Sunday afternoon. So I kind of got to see the weekend scene, and there was a wedding going on there too. So it, you know, it kind of had a mix of like wedding guests, sort of like family aspect, but I also got to see like some like older, mature gentlemen who just kind of come in just to have a quick drink and who have been coming there for like 20, 30 years. It's very much that vibe. It's a very mature vibe. And I love that. I would absolutely go back to that bar to have a drink after work if I lived in Houston. We did have room service. We had breakfast. I got like a brunch burger. It was fair. It was just like a typical brunch burger. And then I also got something else. I can't really remember, but I would have to say the food was okay. It wasn't anything to write home about. I mean, there certainly isn't like, I wouldn't say it's a 5-star restaurant, not by any means. I don't know if that's what they bill it as, but the food wasn't that fantastic. I think that my breakfast was good, but in Houston, there's so much good food there that it really wasn't giving anything fantastic. I didn't dare have a steak. I try not to have steaks outside of steakhouses, but the atmosphere of the dining room is very much steakhouse atmosphere. But I basically kind of stayed away from that because, you know, I didn't want any issues. Oh, okay. So the staff there, they're so interconnected. Everyone knew what our itinerary was. Like, everyone knew that we had a cabana. Everyone knew that we were supposed to get drinks at the bar. Everyone knew everything about us. And that's one of the things about St. Regis brand. Like, they really take, I mean, it's kind of like the olden days when like you used to go to a hotel and you would have like an actual butler who would like come in and like steam your clothes, give you your itinerary, just kind of be your assistant, be your butler, be everything for that, you know, for your stay. It very much gives that feel, which is why I really like the St. Regis. I can't wait to stay at more St. Regis's, St. Regi. I don't know. I can't wait to stay at more. I'm excited about that. But they took me on a tour of the presidential suite and what they call the luxury. So I'm going to give you footage of that as well. The luxury suite was a little bit more updated than the presidential suite. I would absolutely stay in the luxury suite. These are not offerings. Keep in mind, these are not things that they offer on the website. You have to basically call, and they have to do like a proof of funds check before they can allow you to stay. But I think they're like upwards of like, I think the presidential suite is maybe like, you know, $7,000 or $8,000 a night or something like that, which isn't very like outstanding. It's not a Los Angeles, it's not a New York City, you know, it's still pricey, but it's not anything like crazy, you know. So the whole proof of funds check, I feel like that's a little bit much. But I think that these luxury brands and these luxury hotel brands really thrive off of that feeling of exclusivity. And so I think it's more of a marketing technique than anything else. So I'm gonna take you on a room tour. We got a standard room, double queen beds. I think it was about $600 a night. And yeah. Overall, I would absolutely stay at the St. Regis again. Now, that old customer service that you're gonna get at the St. Regis, like we've known you for 20, 30 years, we're gonna be at your beck and call kind of service. I don't know if you'll get that elsewhere, but if you like older finishes, if you kind of like a more mature crowd at the bar, at dinner, if you just like a more traditional style of luxury, St. Regis is going to be for you. It's very sophisticated, and I would absolutely go back for those reasons, and for, of course, you would guess it, customer service. If you have any questions, lay them down. I want to answer any questions about the St. Regis. This was not sponsored, of course. And yeah, let's have a conversation. I'm really like excited. I'm really, really excited because I love the people. I love the community atmosphere. Like everybody knew everything. It's like, oh yeah, I knew. Oh, I didn't even talk about the tea room. I took a little bit of the tea room. I did not get to have a tea. Apparently they have the best tea in Houston. That's what they are billed as. People come. I met some girls at the bar who was like, oh, I'm like, hey, are you guys here for the it was on a Sunday. I was like, hey, are you guys here for the baby shower? They're like, no, we're here to have tea, but we're waiting for our tea time, high tea. And I was like, wow, like they were like so excited. They were like giggling. They were having drinks beforehand. Like it was an event. And so, and it's yes, by invitation, not by invitation, excuse me. It's by reservation only. And so we had so much planned for that weekend. We had full bellies the whole time. I was drinking, you know, dirty martinis and espresso martinis by the gallon at that point. But yeah, so next time I go, so when I'm in town, I'll probably have tea there. You cannot go to the pool unless you are staying there, but I have a little friend, so we'll see. Thank you so much for watching. Again, subscribe, click the notification bell, and I'm excited about seeing you next time.